Lord Nolan here, and I just finally read chapter 1000 of One Piece, and yo, Luffy is looking badass. Like, the dude walked past. Okay, hold on. Spoilers if you're not. Okay, if you're just a anime only watcher, spoilers. So, if you're okay, before I say anything else, if you only watch anime, don't watch this video. Okay. Now that I've said that, yo, the man freaking yeah. First of all, he gets up to the roof thanks to the musketeers, which is awesome. And they couldn't really fight Kaido, so they fought the guys that Jack brought and the guys on the fifth floor, which is that's what they were. That's their level. That's what they had to do. So they did what they had to do. They couldn't really do anymore, and then you know that's sometimes you can only take on who you can take on, and you got to be a team player, help the guy who's gonna finish the game get where they gotta go. You know what I mean? There's not everybody's gonna be Steph Curry, not everybody's gonna be Michael Jordan, Kobe. Sometimes you need to have your teammates. Sometimes you gotta have Shaq post somebody up. Sometimes you gotta have Artest. You gotta have you gotta have your other teammates, man. You gotta be Scottie Pippen. You gotta be, all the other guys. You gotta be one of the other guys. You can't always be the star. So the Musketeers, they beat the other guys for the main character. They beat the other guys so that Luffy could make it to the top without losing any of his energy. And when he gets up there, yo, Kid, Killer, Zoro, and Law are up there waiting for him. And the man walks past Kaido and Big Mom. He just walks by them like they're not even there. Hockey dripping off of him. Coat over the shoulders, looking like when he went in to fight Shiki. The man looks phenomenal. And he goes past him straight to Kinemon, who's on the ground, just messed up. And I can only imagine what Kaido did to these guys. So Kinemon and the Scabbards are on the ground, and Luffy is talking to him, and Kinemon's like, "Yo, we can't fight anymore. Like, this is shameful. Like, we did everything that we can, barely scratched him. Cuts weren't deep enough, wounds probably already healed. The man is a monster. He's above our level." And Luffy was like, "Don't worry about it. That's what you got me for, man. I take care of my friends." And so then right afterwards, Luffy tells Law, send everybody down, make sure that, I'm pretty sure he sent them just to the fifth floor, either the fifth floor or just the ground to where all the medics are. I don't know if Law knows what the battle plan looks like or whatever, but he sent them off the roof. That's the main issue, because if they're on the roof, they're going to get hurt. It's, residual effects of all the attacks. You don't want none of that. So Law sends the Scabbards away just before Kaido drops the club on the ground, and it almost hits Luffy. And Luffy, with a full strength Luffy with new skills, jumps in the air, goes gear third, and BAM! Hits this dude with a red rock. Or I think he said red rock, right? Yeah, he says red rock. And apparently, I found this out actually from Tekking, because I watched his review after I read the chapter. But so apparently a red rock is like this gigantic mythical bird that can also take on dragons, or are dragon sized or something like that. So it's a variation on the Red Hawk using gear third, mixed with advanced Ryo armament hockey. And the man lit Kaido's face on fire. I don't even know how to describe my reaction to watching Kaido get hit with a fist and his face catches fire. but it was something to see. Like, honestly, it was like, as I was reading, I was like, oh my God, this man is hitting people with new moves. Like, this ain't even. I didn't know at first. I didn't know it was like an upgraded Red Hawk. I thought it was just like a new move. I thought he just had another technique. I thought he, like, because I mean, it is another technique, but I didn't know it was like an upgraded Red Hawk. It's just like, because Red Hawk is, I think it's like practically either a base Luffy or gear second move. It's one of those first tier moves. And Red Rock is a gear third move. So I'm assuming he now either has not just adapted a gear third one, but he might have a gear fourth one. Maybe. Or maybe that's yet to come. I don't know exactly what. But having a technique that's like a finisher that can be mixed with his newer gears, like the third and fourth, is like, that sets a whole new level on his offensive capabilities. And not only that, it lights people on fire, because Red Hawk is bad. Like, Red Hawk is already crazy. It broke through the candy wall that freaking Perospero put up. It messed up Doflamingo bad, and Doflamingo ain't no joke. It messed up so many people, and just, to see that move in an evolved version hitting a Yonko in the face, that's some crazy stuff. Now, I don't know how the battle's gonna play out, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna be switching opponents over and over again, but I have a feeling that it's gonna be Kaido versus Luffy, Law, and Kid, and Big Mom versus Killer and Zoro. I feel like they're gonna, go swordsman and or blade people versus Big Mom, and then Big Three, versus Kaido. And technically Law has a sword. I get it. So, Law may be playing support because he's sitting on a rock. He's not even standing up. So he might be playing support for the other four, because the other four are they're very offense oriented. So I could see him maneuvering people with his room, and I could see him, playing the part of a support character. Now, Law is strong, don't get me wrong. I just see him playing a support role. And Kid and Killer, it could be Kid and Killer versus Big Mom, Zoro and Luffy versus Kaido, with Law as support. Or it could be Luffy and Kid versus Kaido, Killer and Zoro versus Big Mom, with Law as support. And if Law isn't supporting, then he's probably going after Kaido too, because he's the one that set the whole thing in motion for Luffy and Zoro. And the Straw Hat crew wouldn't even have known about Kaido really, or how to hurt Kaido without Law. So maybe Law has a vendetta against Kaido because him being connected to Doflamingo and all the smile stuff and all that stuff like that. So if Law's going after anybody, he's gonna probably go after Kaido. But I feel like it's either gonna be captains versus Kaido and first mates versus Big Mom with Law's support, or Big Three guys versus Kaido, and then first mates versus Big Mom. That's just my take though. But chapter 1000, crazy. And then there's the whole thing with Luffy saying something that Roger said. Now, people are saying that they don't know what he said, and I don't necessarily know either. They don't say, obviously, but my guess, I've seen people guess. My guess is they're gonna say something like, I'm gonna be the guy who frees the world, or something like that. They're like, I'm gonna be the guy who frees the world, or I'm gonna be the guy that beats the celestial dragons, or something like that, something to that effect. Either I'm gonna be the guy that frees the world, or I'm gonna be the guy that defeats the celestial dragons. Because they, like, the King of the Pirates thing, everybody heard about already. So and Roger didn't have that wasn't even a position before Roger. And so Roger saying, like, I want to be King of the Pirates, they didn't that other people named him that. So that's not really like a thing he'd probably say to Whitebeard. But saying like, I'm gonna be the guy to beat the Celestial Dragons, that could be why he was trying to get the Laugh Tale. Like, I'm gonna be the guy to free the world, same thing. That could be why he's trying to get the Laugh Tale. Then he finds out about the Joy Boy thing and is like, okay, I can't be the one to free the world because I'm too early. It's not my generation. And so he sets it up so that Luffy and the others can. Like, all the next generations coming on, it spurs on a whole new pirate era that inspires obviously the worst generation. And people call them the worst generation because these are some of the most I don't know, it's like they're the most I don't know, I want to really say dangerous, but like these are the most I don't want to say skilled either. Ambitious, maybe? Nah, because everybody has the same ambitions. These are the most strong-willed pirates. Like, these are the pirates that can't be, that won't waver. And I don't think it even really wavered. And Drake isn't really necessarily a pirate, so watching him fold is not really a thing. It doesn't matter for Drake. And Hawkins, he plays it smart. He doesn't really care what side he goes on. Same thing with Beiji. He didn't really care what side he goes on. Both of them have like their own things. They're strategy guys. So like they didn't really waver. They just go based off of like, oh well, these got the best odds, and if the odds aren't in our favor, the world's a big place. We can go someplace else. That's the kind of thing. So they're not really wavering. They're just like, whatever. We're gonna do what we want, and if we can't do it here, we'll just do it somewhere else. They're flexible. They're not wavering. They're flexible. And like that's how most of the worst generation, I would assume, are perceived. They're like either strong-willed or just too powerful to really beat. And the only people I know that beat Hawkins is Kaido, which he didn't even fight, and Law, which Law had helped and surprised him. It was like a surprise attack, and Law's fruit is broken, so you can't really blame Hawkins for losing to Law, because in a straight up fight where they had, where Law couldn't just tear him apart, I think Hawkins, with the whole Law's fruit's broken. I think he'd still win. Hawkins gets beat by Law every time, I think. The only reason why he didn't get beat before is because Hawkins had some of his crewmates as like the extra lives thing. So I think Hawkins gets beat every time, but like he wouldn't have put himself in a position where he could have got beat. He wouldn't have gave up those lives if he didn't think he had Law, and he did. It's just obviously Drake betrayed everybody, and Hawkins didn't see that coming, so he just kind of assumed he beat him, and in all honesty, he had him, and he outplayed him. So technically, that's not really Law's fault, but the pirate world ain't fair, so whatever. But yeah, Roger sets the whole thing up to free the world through the next generation that comes after him, and that's Luffy in the game. And the Yonko technically aren't the strongest people in the world. They're just the strongest pirates. The Celestial Dragons run the world. So if you can't beat the Celestial Dragons, which it literally have, I would assume, millions of not just Marines, but assassins and all kinds of other machines, like the pacifistas, and they got Buster Call weaponry and all this other stuff. They got all kinds of stuff. So in order to beat the Celestial Dragons, you got to be the top dogs, at least in your pirate world too. Like if you're not even a top pirate, there's no hope in hell that you're gonna beat the Celestial Dragons. So in order to beat the Celestial Dragons, he's got to be at least king of the pirates. And Roger was strong enough. He ran out of time. He was sick. I guess the like destiny or fate or whatever One Piece's version of that is. I don't know if it's destiny or fate. It's just like the dawn thing hadn't come yet. So it wasn't his time. He wasn't the person. So illness and destiny decided Roger wasn't the one. He was strong enough to do it. He would have ran out of time before he beat them. Is essentially what I view that as. And maybe there's some kind of, time sensitive safe that holds the weapons, or some kind of, the ancient weapons, or some kind of thing that is needed in order to beat the celestial dragons, or something like that. Because we don't even know everything about the celestial dragons and the whole setup of the world government's top tier, leaders and stuff. Like, we just know the Gorosei are the top 5 guys. We don't even know necessarily if they got powers. We don't know their agenda. We don't know what a cleansing is, because apparently they're going to do some kind of cleansing thing. We don't even know what happened to Vivi. We don't know none of that. So, like, we have no idea. We don't know how many pacifistas they got. We don't know how many soldiers they have in Mary Joie. We don't know the extent of we don't even know the extent of the CP organizations. We don't even know how many of those guys are around, and what other organizations they got that operate under them. So, in order to beat the celestial dragons, I'm pretty sure Luffy is definitely gonna need practically the entire pirate world. Like, he's gonna unify pirates, as far as I know. It's like, if I'm going up against an organization that runs the world, you're gonna have to need an organization that's just as big. So I would assume that Luffy's organization is the entire pirate world. And like Mihawk said, his power is in his ability to bring people together. So Luffy brings together the entire pirate world, and not just the entire pirate world, but all of the kingdoms he's saved, or all the territories that other pirates have taken from the celestial dragons, all the free countries that couldn't pay the celestial dragons or whatever, and the Revolutionary Army, giants, all these forces, and then they go after the celestial dragons. And that, like the final war is gonna be ridiculous. But the first step to that final chapter is he has to go through the Yonko, and he just lit a Yonko's face on fire with his fist, and not just any Yonko, but one of the strongest. So, or honestly, probably the strongest pirate alive. So Luffy's on his way, and it's no joke. But I ain't gonna spoil too many other things, because if you really want to know what happens in the chapter, you're gonna have to read it. And I implore you to read it. I'm telling you, it's worth it. That being said, I haven't really done that many things today. I went to the store, did some stuff, cleaned up a few things, and that's about it. My day has been pretty boring, other than chapter 1000, and I'm probably gonna watch the new episode of the anime, which I haven't done yet. But I've been watching Cobra Kai. That's a pretty good show, man. If you watched any of the Karate Kid shows, Cobra Kai you gotta watch it. You've gotta watch Cobra Kai. That being said, I'm gonna leave it here. Nollan Out.